Global markets are moving in a haze of geopolitical tension and climate disruption as Washington ramps up legal and economic offensive and natural disasters strain vital trade routes, from record bounties on heads of states to the largest wildfire France has seen in decades. Today's headlines show just how quickly the lines between security, trade, and climate are blurring. My name is Eniola Lunge, and here's today's Zoom Out for August 8, where I help you see the bigger picture. The Trump administration has raised the reward for the arrest or conviction of Venezuelan President Nicolás Maduro to $50 million, accusing him of partnering with criminal cartels in fentanyl-laced cocaine trafficking. Attorney General Pam Bondi called Maduro one of the world's most notorious narco traffickers, linking him to over 30 tons of seized cocaine, $700 million in confiscated assets, and networks spanning the Sinaloa cartel to Tren de Aragua. The move comes as U.S.-Venezuela relations soar again just months after a prisoner swap and partial easing of oil sanctions. While not a direct market event, this intensifies U.S. sanctions risk for companies operating in Venezuela's energy sector, potentially tightening oil supply chains already strained by OPEC Plus discipline. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? This is more than a drug case. It's a geopolitical chokehold. Expect energy traders and insurers to stop pricing in heightened Venezuelan risk premiums. A blaze in the oil region, followed by strong winds and scorching heat, has burned 16,000 hectares, an area larger than Paris, making it France's biggest wildfire since 1949. 1 death, 18 injuries, and 36 destroyed homes are confirmed, while over 2,000 people have been evacuated. Crews warn flare-ups remain possible as conditions stay dry. In Turkey, separate wildfires have shut the Dardanelles Strait, a shipping route crucial to grain and energy flows between Europe and Asia. Temporary closure of the Dardanelles could ripple through agricultural commodity prices and disrupt tanker schedules, especially for oil moving from the Black Sea. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Climate-linked disasters are no longer just environmental stories. They are direct variables in the global trade equation. President Trump's new tariffs, ranging from 10 to 41% on imports from 69 countries, are already rattling markets. 25% on Indian goods have prompted India to pause a U.S. arms purchase, 15% on most EU imports, but the bloc has decided to pause counter tariffs for 6 months, including a 39% tariff on Swiss imports, coming as a surprise to financial markets. Gold futures hit a record high as investors hedge against tariff-driven uncertainty. Manufacturers and exporters are bracing for higher input costs and slower demand. Japanese automakers are already reporting multi-million-dollar daily losses due to delayed tariff cuts. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? Trade wars aren't just back, they're bigger, broader, and hitting unexpected targets. From August 20, certain Zambian and Malawian visitors to the U.S. must post bonds of $5,000 to $15,000 for tourist or business visas. Zambia's foreign minister warns this will hurt trade, tourism, and diaspora ties, especially in a country where average monthly income is just around $150. Higher travel costs could slow bilateral business exchanges and complicate supply chain partnerships, requiring on-site U.S. visits. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? When mobility gets monetized, opportunity gets rationed, often at the expense of developing economies. 4 Ghanaians have been indicted for orchestrating an international criminal organization responsible for stealing over $100 million through online scams. 3 of them arrived in the U.S. yesterday and are set to appear in court. Interim U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, underscored the operation's scope, stating, and I quote, "Offshore scammers should know that we, the FBI, and our law enforcement partners will work around the world to combat online fraud and bring perpetrators to justice," end quote. The fraud targeted both businesses and vulnerable individuals, particularly older victims, through deceptive online relationships and impersonated corporate email communications. So what's your Zoom Out takeaway? This case highlights the escalating sophistication and global reach of cyber fraud, particularly scams exploiting emotional trust and corporate systems. Cross-border collaboration between Ghanaian authorities, Interpol, and U.S. agencies were pivotal in bringing key suspects to justice. Financial crime is increasingly transnational, meaning enforcement will need to be too. So the bottom line is this: from bounties and blazes to tariffs and travel restrictions, today's stories share one thread: the tightening of levers that control global movement, whether of leaders, goods, or people. Power is being exerted through pressure points that ripple far beyond their immediate targets. What story stood out to you today? Drop a comment, share your thoughts, and subscribe for more context with me. When the world zooms in on the noise, I zoom out so you can see the bigger picture.